So back at the Whitby Cottage again for another weekend, but first I'm going to do another walkthrough video. It's been 2.5 years now, and this is video number 3. The outside at the front pretty much done. Just need another lick of paint on the windows and the door. Had to scarf in new bits on the bottom of the door frame, but that's all solid now, good to go. All that ribbon pointing gone now, so the stones can breathe. Been redone in lime mortar with a grit sand and brush back finish. Fiddly, but well worth it. And there's a portico over the door. We'd had the lead pinched off that. Hopefully this time it's going to stop, because that took me quite a while to do. So what have I done inside? That was all plastered up, is now back down to the stone and all pointed up. Just did that last night actually, starting with my lime plastering. So some of the stairs repaired, filled, sanded, prepped, painted, undercoated, as is all the rest of the woodwork, and even up the side of the stairs. I'm going to be having a carpet runner, which of course meant I had to make sure the side of the stairs was all in good nick. Through into the living room, dining room, downstairs room, whatever we want to call it. Yes, got the radiators in, and that's the copper radiator that I made, designed based on the Captain Cook's Endeavours sails. The window bit, not done a deal on that for a while, but all that wood needs sorting out. Underneath there needs doing as well. The fireplace, slowly looking better, even though it's got all my building materials stacked up there. I'm starting with the lime pointing. Made a start on this side. All this other side to do. Bits and bobs up there as well. We've now got a hearth. There is actually a hearth under there. But what else in here? The beams, cleaned those up, given them a coat of shellac. They're ready for waxing. But not until I've finished doing what needs doing to hold this ceiling up. Already done some patching, needs some finishing and some fillering and whatever. The end wall, you can see those lines in it. We're going to be keeping those, but obviously all that needs patching up before I can paint that. Right, into the kitchen. The kitchen was very small, but we've managed to make it a bit bigger. First of all, we stripped everything we could off the walls, so now we're back to the stone on the end wall, and we're back to brick on the passageway wall, and we're back to wood panelling on the interior walls. That, with a bit of clever messing about with a sink, we've got a new sink, I think they call it a butler style sink because it's got the drainer built in. But yes, that actually now fits into the window hole, so we've got quite a bit of extra room there. Tiled the floor, built some bespoke cupboards, so they're only 500mm deep and they're just to the dimensions that we want. No way could we have bought something off the shelf. Cupboards and shelves, they're just ready for the doors, and handles put in on the drawers. That's done. No, because we need to put tops on as well. So, probably going to have oak work tops going along there. Nice curved edge, just gives us a bit more room to manoeuvre. Cleaned up, sorted out and replastered around these beams. Painted, ready to go. Just got to plaster up there, and then it's kind of, we've finished the kitchen. Right, we'll have a quick look outside before we go upstairs. Nice to walk out to that. But before we go up there, we have this new box against the wall, and that houses the heat recovery ventilation unit. So there's a unit about the size of a boiler in there with some ducts going into it. Now I've had to craftily hide wherever I can. Sucks in cool air, heats it up, and extracts air from the kitchen and the bathroom. Right, so that was the new beam. I've still got all this to do, tidying up at the ends. I think I'm going to have to make some corbels to go under the end of there. A bit of plastering and tidying up and things like that. Oh, and the other bit. Yeah, dead interesting. A toilet! A cistern. So, we've actually got a toilet that will flush. So that's been quite a luxury. Oh, can you see? We've got a skylight in there as well. So it's not quite such the dingy hole that it was. Then outside, the wash house now has a new pan-tile roof instead of the asbestos tiled one that was on there. And you can see sticking out that is the vent for the combi boiler that we've now got in there. So we've got hot water. All the outsides rendered in lime. That just needs painting now. Can't decide whether to do it in a lime wash or a silicate paint. It's a nice soft finish we've got on that. Right, we'll go upstairs. Oh, piles of rubbish and rubble. Problem round here, getting shut of it all. That wall's prepped now, ready for pointing. All the wiring and things like that's been hidden away. Oh, quick note on the wiring. Yes, we're using the old-fashioned light switches. Into the upstairs living room. You've probably seen it before, the panelling that we've exposed beneath many, many layers of wallpaper and hardboard and God knows what. But been very carefully, patiently repairing and fixing that where it's wobbling and things, because that's going to be painted. Right, the fireplace. We had a dilemma on this as to what we were going to do for a fire surround. We found a ghost of what was there in the past in the paint on the wood, which gave us that profile. So that's what I've recreated. And just exposed last week, we have a stone hearth, so that'll be underneath the stove. Outside wall, yes, that's now ready for plastering. We need a window ledge going on there as well, and I've got a piece of larch from the woods sorted out for that. Got skirting board, new skirting board in. Oh, and the ceiling, yes. That's all going to be painted. The beams were varnished before, but we've decided we'd rather have those all painted the same. And that was hardboarded between them, but that's come down now and that's been plasterboarded and skimmed. In my efforts to make the house habitable, I've done the kitchen downstairs that we can cook in and clean in, but the other area has been the bathroom, and we've finally got a bath plumbed back in. So this was the bath that we had in here originally. It's been sat in the living room for probably about 2 years, but now I've repolished that. I've experimented and discovered how to grind and polish an enamelled bath, so that's all covered on the website, or will be when I get round to it. Yes, we did the floor in here, had the new beam, new joist going across, and then some of the old floorboards that were in here have gone back down. I've sanded those back, dyed them, and they're varnished or lacquered. The crook frame, I've tidied all that up, because that was quite badly worm-eaten and rather shabby, so we needed it in a state that it could be kept reasonably clean. So that's been filled, sealed, stabilised. It's had some shellac on, and it'll have some wax on as well. So I've got the end wall left to do. Plastering, I think we're going to have a marble window ledge there. This lime plastering here, that needs to be sorted out. Got the end wall, and that takes the ducting for the ventilation system, some wiring and some pipes and that. So it's also got some sound insulation, because that's adjoining the bedroom. The beam ends, those were the rotten beam ends that had made a bracket to hold them into the wall, and all we can see, I'm quite happy leaving that, just that little dome bit showing to show that there has been something done to that. I've got a cistern to put up there, and I've got to work out how to bend, I think it's 38mm pipes to go down to the toilet, because I want it to kink round the edge of the window. And in the middle bedroom, all the stone, we're going to leave that exposed. That's all been repaired and pointed up. It's rather strange detailing round the window, because the window itself isn't its original size, so it's been cobbled at some point, so I've had to make good what's been there. I've got that beam to sort out in a similar way to the frame in the bathroom. The ceiling's all been replastered, and obviously this is a new section of plasterboarded wall. What I can't see much of at the moment, because there's the mattress on it, is the fact that this bed has been built in, allowing me to get some of the ducting that goes through to the kitchen under there, and various bits of wiring and plumbing and whatever, but it also saves me having to level out a floor and then just to put a bed over the top of it. There's the raised bit here which goes over the passageway, so I've got a bit of sound insulation in there as well. This is rather a nice piece of wood that we've come across, got from the auction as a full bed, just the headboard we wanted, because that is a nice bit of old timber panelling. Looks like it was off a chest or something originally, but that's going to be the headboard for in here that I'm going to be fixing back against the wall. That's about it for this room. Now, up to the next floor. That's the wood pile. Everyone needs a wood pile, you never know when it's going to come in handy. Could do with that quite taking up so much room though. And we're up to the attic rooms. We had the new roof on and we've got insulation in there now. That's all been plasterboarded over and skimmed. Lots of tricky little details. But I think I'm pretty competent at finished plastering now. So I've got the end wall there that needs sorting out over the stairs and a bit of banister putting in. Another window that needs sorting out. The outside of it's fine. That's the doorway that we moved over so we could get this wall in to divide off the twin room. Twin room, because it's got twin beds. Those are both built in. Storage underneath them, a drawer at the ends. But they're built in so we could squeeze them in at either side of this chimney stack. You see the rest of the gable end. Need to point that up and then get some kind of sealant to stop it dusting, and that's about it. Done in here after many hours sanding and filling and sorting out the woodwork and the old purlins and things to get them painted. Lots of fun plastering. Got a shelf over there. I've got a door to put on as well. The window here was like the window in here. It's a hideous plastic UPVC job, but I couldn't stand that fake stuff that's actually sandwiched between the glass. So what I've done, taken the glass out, got a Stanley knife around it, cut it open, taken them out and stuck it back together. Seems to work. I'll let you know how it gets on, but if that doesn't mist up, there's an option there. Into the master bedroom. At first glance, doesn't look like we've done much in here, but the majority of it is now ready for decorating. Well, it's got first coat on anyway. And there's the end wall with the crook frame, so lime plastering again around that and sorting all this wood out very carefully, cleaning it and doing whatever it needs to get it looking good. So that's where we're up to so far. And as long as I don't keep getting distracted on gorgeous days like this, oh, I don't know, another 6 months, something like that. I certainly think we're getting close. Keep saying to myself, it'll be lovely when it's done.